What's up, YouTube? So in today's video I'm going to be talking about the NFL honors, which is going to be taking place tomorrow. Well, I'm filming this on February 1st, Friday, so it'll be tomorrow. So I figured I may as well make this now. I'm not sure when I'll release this. I don't know if I'll release this the day of NFL honors or if I'll release it today. I don't know. But this is basically just my take on who should win some of these awards. I'm not going to do all of them. Like, for instance, fantasy player of the year. I don't care. The ones I'm only going to be doing, let's see, 7 of them. I'm going to be covering MVP, Coach of the Year, Offensive Player, Defensive Player, Offensive Rookie, Defensive Rookie, and Comeback Player. Let's see where I want to start. Yeah, I'll start with MVP. Why not? Honestly, I'm probably going to do Offensive Player and MVP at the same time because I think it's the same person if it's me deciding. I'll start with MVP though. I think the obvious choice is Patrick Mahomes. The only other person that's even close to me is Drew Brees, but I don't even think it's that close. I think it's Patrick Mahomes kind of by himself, honestly. What he was able to do this year, putting up 5,000 yards, leading the Chiefs to an AFC championship with a team that has an atrocious defense. And a good part of the year not really having that good of a running back. Damian Williams, Dolphins fans should remember him. He was with us. He's pretty decent. He's not terrible. He did his job, but some people were saying how the Chiefs had so many weapons. They really didn't. Yeah, they had Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill, but after that, I mean, you had Sammy Watkins, who hasn't been good in a very long time. He kind of resurrected his career this year with the Chiefs. After that, you had what? Chris Conley. I don't really see the explosive weapons that he had. Yeah, some people were saying that's why he was so good. I mean, yes, he had some good receivers. Sammy Watkins and Chris Conley definitely stepped up. Tyreek Hill and, of course, Travis Kelce. Of course, they had good seasons as well, but to say that they're the reason he had 5,000 yards and led them this far, no. He had an amazing season. And in my opinion, he should win MVP and Offensive Player because of it. If we're talking about Offensive Player, again, the other 2 players after Mahomes to me are Brees and then possibly Todd Gurley, but I don't think either of the other 2 are really that close. No one did what Patrick Mahomes did this year. I don't even really have too much to say about that. I think he's kind of standing by himself for both MVP and Offensive Player this year. I think he should get both. I don't know if they're going to do that. They generally don't like to give people 2 awards, but in my eyes, if you deserve it, you deserve it. Next, I'll go to Coach of the Year. This one is a little bit more difficult because there's a few different options. I'm going to go ahead and read off, not in any particular order, the coaches that I think should be considered for this. Then I'll talk about who I think should be. First of all, Matt Nagy, Chicago Bears. Then Frank Reich for the Colts. Then Anthony Lynn for the Chargers. Sean McVay for the Rams. Sean Payton for the Saints. And Andy Reid for the Chiefs. So I'm going to talk about some of those coaches that I don't think should be it. the reasons why. Andy Reid. Ah, man. Some of his play calling in the playoffs wasn't the greatest. And honestly, when you have an explosive offense like that, it's kind of hard to say you're coach of the year. When your quarterback puts up 5,000 yards, you better be successful. Next, Sean Payton. They have a stacked team. Actually, I'm going to cover Sean Payton and Sean McVay at the same time because it's the same reasons for both. Their teams are absolutely stacked. Their defenses are pretty crazy, although I wasn't a big fan of the Rams' defense this past year. Their defensive line, of course, was terrifying, but their linebackers and defensive backs left a lot to be desired. But anyway, I don't think it's Sean Payton or Sean McVay. Anthony Lynn for the Chargers. He was in consideration until that game in the playoffs against New England, in my eyes. When you go out like that, you can't be in consideration for Coach of the Year, in my opinion. So that leaves Matt Nagy and Frank Reich. This one is a little bit harder to decide between them in my eyes, because the Bears have been bad for a pretty long time, like really bad, and they really turned it around this year. You know, as soon as they got Khalil Mack to really shore up that defense, they really took off. And it wasn't just the defense; they had a pretty good running game as well this year that really helped carry them. Their passing game wasn't spectacular, but it was enough to complement the run and the defense that they had. But then you got Frank Reich, where, I mean, the Colts have been bad for a couple of years now too. They really turned it around. What were they? 1-5. Let me take a look real quick. One second. I'm pretty sure they were like 1-5 to start the season out, and then they turned it around and made a run for the playoffs. That's hard not to say that he deserves it. Let's see. Yeah, like I said, they were 1-5, 1-6, something like that to start the year out. Then they just made a massive run at the end. They really turned it around. Some players I'll talk about in a bit will add a big part of that. Andrew Luck and Darius Leonard. But it wasn't just them. I mean, he pulled a defense out of his ass. I mean, yes, Darius Leonard definitely helped. He led the league in tackles, but it wasn't just him. I mean, their defense was actually pretty decent this year, and it really shouldn't have been. Their offensive line was much improved, although we kind of knew it going into the draft. Drafting Quentin Nelson in the first round, you knew that was going to improve it right there. And then they drafted another guy too. I don't remember his name. I'm not a Colts fan. If there are any Colts fans, drop the guy's name in the comments. The other guy that they drafted for offensive line. This one is tough between them. I feel like if either one of them gets Coach of the Year, I'm not going to be upset. If it were my decision, I'd probably go with Frank Reich, I think. But I don't know. I think he kind of edges them out a little bit just because turning a team around that quick. But the Bears kind of did that too, so I don't know. I'm probably going to go with Frank. But if Matt Nagy gets it, cool. I'm definitely fine with that. So next one I'm going to go to is defensive player. In my eyes, there's only two players to even really consider here. That's Aaron Donald and Khalil Mack. As well as Aaron Donald did, and as amazing as that dude is, I think I have to give it to Khalil Mack. Just because of the immediate impact he had on that Bears defense. I mean, that Bears defense was already going to be pretty good, but the second they got their hands on him, the whole team just exploded. Aaron Donald had Ndamukong Suh next to him most of the season, which helps a lot. But I'm not saying that's why he was successful. The dude is amazing. It is the best defensive tackle in the league, in my opinion. But I think I have to give it to Khalil Mack. The way he turned that Bears defense around like that, well, really turned the whole team around. Just getting a name like that, really turning around. So I think I have to give it to him. Don't have a whole lot to say about that. I think it's kind of a easy decision for me. Offensive rookie. I went back and forth on this one between Baker Mayfield and Saquon Barkley. I won't lie. At first, I was thinking Saquon just because he put over 2,000 all-purpose yards. I mean, he was all over the highlight tapes, but man, Baker Mayfield, from the moment he took over that team from Tyrod Taylor, he turned them around in a hurry. Similar to Khalil Mack, just the immediate turnaround that he gave them. I mean, the throws he was making that so many other veterans in the league couldn't hope to make. I mean, who knows what would have happened if he would have started the whole year over Tyrod Taylor. They ended up finishing 7-9, I think it was. I mean, that's insane, going from 0-16 last year. Granted, that wasn't just all on him. They improved a lot in this past offseason, especially on the defensive side, which their defense was already showing promise last year, but they really built upon it. People like Nick Chubb also had a pretty good year as well. Duke Johnson, but I think I'd probably give it to Baker. I wouldn't be upset if Saquon Barkley got it, and I would totally understand if Saquon got it. I mean, 2,000 all-purpose yards is insane. And by the way, I'm not holding the Giants' record against Saquon Barkley. He got those 2,000 yards despite the Giants. Their team is absolutely atrocious. I mean, they have maybe one good offensive lineman, but the other four are absolutely terrible. Hang on. Yeah. Like I said, I wouldn't be upset if Saquon got it because, like I said, he was running around that terrible offensive line. Not blaming Will Hernandez, the rookie. I think he had a pretty good year at left guard. But being able to find spaces with that terrible an offensive line, and honestly, Eli Manning didn't really help Saquon a whole lot. Like I said, I wouldn't be upset if he got it, but I think it's Baker. I don't really have to think too hard on it. I think it's Baker Mayfield. So I'm just going to go ahead and move on to the next one. Next one is defensive rookie. So, in my opinion with this one, I think there are three players that come to mind. The first being Derwin James for the Chargers, Darius Leonard for the Colts, and Leighton Vander Esch for the Cowboys. They all had phenomenal seasons. Leighton Vander Esch, especially toward the end of the year, he really picked it up. He was a big part of the push that led them to the playoffs. Jarwin James, I don't know his exact stats, but I know he was pretty high on the interception list, especially for the rookies. He's a safety, if you don't know. But I think Darius Leonard stands above them all. I mean, leading the NFL in tackles as a rookie, that's insane to me. And turning what was expected to be a pretty terrible defense around like they did, and he was the anchor to that. He was the leader, and as a rookie, that's insane. I don't even have to really think about this one. Darius Leonard is by far Defensive Rookie of the Year. I just felt that I had to at least mention Jarwin James and Leighton Vander Esch because in most other years, they would have won it. But in my eyes, as a rookie, you can't lead the NFL in tackles and not be Defensive Rookie of the Year. Period. So the last one, hang on. Let me take a drink real quick. Okay, so comeback player. I thought about this one for a while. I think the three players that come to mind, it's really two, but I'm going to give an honorable mention. I think J.J. Watt and Andrew Luck are the two to really consider here. And then as an honorable mention, I'm going to mention Adrian Peterson. Adrian Peterson, at his age, with all the injuries he had a pretty good season. But I don't think he quite had the impact that J.J. Watt or Andrew Luck did, so I'm not really considering him. He only had 1,000 yards and stuff. He had a pretty good year, but not compared to the other two. Looking at Andrew Luck and J.J. Watt, I went back and forth with these two a couple times, and I think I'm gonna end up giving it to J.J. I just think that, I mean, the dude has had a Hall of Fame career, at least in my eyes. Every year he's been healthy. Every year he's been playing. He's proved himself to be one of the best defensive players of all time in the NFL. He had 2 years out with injuries, and he really came back this year. He had 16 sacks. And I don't even have to think about it too much here. I think he's comeback player, but again, if Andrew Luck did get it, I wouldn't be upset because honestly, he deserves it just as much. I mean, coming back off of that terrible back injury that there were people, including myself actually, that were saying he should just retire because of his injuries. I was honestly saying I wanted him to retire, but he really came back and led the Colts back to the playoffs. And like I said, with their coach coming back from a 1-15 season, not 1-15 season, being 1-5 at the start of the season. That's what I meant to say. Jesus. And leading to the playoffs like that, I would not be upset if he got comeback player. But I think I'm leaning toward J.J. Watt, but it's very close. If you could, if you could have a tie for comeback player, it would be between those two. Hell, if you're allowing tallies, I might even go back to Coach of the Year and tie up Matt Nagy and Frank Reich. But I don't generally like ties, so I'm probably going to lean toward JJ. But, yeah, that's all I really got. I'm not going to get into any of the other different honors, whether it be the Pepsi NFL Rookie of the Year or the GMC Never Say Never moment. I am curious to see what the Walter Payton Man of the Year award winner is, but I don't really know who's going to win that, so I'm not really going to get into that. Don't care about the fantasy football. I don't care about any of the rest. I just wanted to talk about these. So, wait, there's a Madden Most Valuable Protectors Award? Whatever. Oh, it says it's no longer presented. Okay, good. That's stupid. So anyway, if you like this video, hit the like button. Share if you want to. If you have any questions, comments, if you agree with any of my picks, if you disagree with any of them, and you want to tell me that, you want to curse me out about some of my picks, that's fine too. Drop it in the comments. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.